Welcome back to Marketing Champions here on Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpuff, your host. Again, we're talking about marketing with marketing experts from around the country. Today, we're in Cincinnati, Ohio with Kevin Namaky from Gurulocity Brand Management Institute. And Kevin, welcome to our conversation today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Well, we're excited to have you and to learn more about you. So why don't you get us started with sharing how you got started in the marketing industry?
Yeah, so I started off my marketing career coming out of school, working actually in the music industry, doing marketing in the music industry, and eventually kind of guided my career into more traditional brand management. And have by and large spent about 15 years or so working on brand teams in big companies, on consumer brands and in brand management. And then since that time, I spent about another 5 years kind of in the agency and consulting world, and put all of that together to start a business late in my career around education, doing training and development programs for brand marketing professionals in the very same kinds of companies that I worked in myself.
So based on your experience in your career, your path has taken you to become a guru for branding and to be able to share that with others. So why don't you go in a little bit more detail of Gurulocity and the things you're doing in this Brand Management Institute for companies?
Yeah, well, one of the big reasons I started the company was that I went through a lot of the same experiences myself that many brand directors and brand teams go through, which is you have ABMs, which are assistant brand managers who come into brand management not really having the skill sets they need, not really being able to do some of the things they need to do right out of the gate. In brand management in these big companies working on big brands, this is kind of a mid to late career move for people. It's a more advanced kind of position. It's not something you do when you're very young, coming fresh out of school. And you need a lot of specific skills to do this job. But what I found is that MBA programs and the school programs that people were typically going to and coming out of weren't really preparing people properly for some of the work they needed to do. So I went through that experience. I was creating things to help train and develop my own teams. And then I realized, well, this can help other people too. So that's kind of how I started the company. And so it's a training and development company. We do a lot of workshop training programs in the brand management space, teaching them very specific things that are kind of unique to that type of marketing. We do a little bit of consulting. And then nowadays, we're also working on a new membership platform that we're launching this summer.
It really is striking how little is being taught at schools in most programs. There's a lot of programs that are very strong, but general programs don't really have that educational piece when you're coming into these more specific marketing roles. And you kind of have to either learn it by yourself through mentors within your company, or find someone with your services to really provide this type of teaching that people need.
Yeah, it's very true. There is a long-term kind of overarching trend in the marketing industry where marketing is becoming more of a specific practice over time. And as new marketing tactics, marketing evolves, there's a lot of things happening in the marketing world, new things that you can be doing in marketing. And so you sort of need specialists, people who kind of know in depth how to do these different things. And it's very difficult to come out of school with a general marketing or communications degree and really be prepared. But unfortunately, a lot of the college and university programs haven't really kept up with that. There are a few out there maybe that have sort of tried to innovate, but by and large, I think most students coming out with particularly undergraduate degrees and even MBAs, it's just not keeping up with the trend of being more specialized. And brand management's included in that. It's kind of its own thing.
So what are the biggest concerns that companies have that are coming to you, or individuals to that they feel they're lacking and really need to either learn for the first time or strengthen what their basic knowledge is to make sure that they're doing the best for their clients?
Yeah, I would say some of the usually when clients come to us, they have really a specific problem in mind, and I would say there's a couple that are really common. One is actually leading creative work with marketing agencies, ad agencies, creative agencies, and even sometimes media agencies. And so, if you work in brand management on a big notable brand, you're going to have a lot of these agency partners and vendors that you work with. And I think one of the main complaints from directors and VPs and CMOs is that their teams aren't really prepared and don't understand how to lead that work, how to collaborate properly with agencies, brief them properly, and give good feedback that the agency can use to make great creative work. So that's probably one of the real common ones that we get. Probably another one that's really common is strategic thinking and being able to think about long-term strategy, being able to write long-term strategic visions, and then kind of align senior level teams or boards of directors to that vision and get kind of momentum behind the projects and initiatives. So I would say those two are really common. And again, those are things that it's hard to get unless you've really had somebody sit with you elbow to elbow and kind of teach you how to do that.
But it's good that you are serving that purpose and filling that void to do that training for these individuals, these companies, and really helping to really bring the right strength to branding that these companies and their clients and all the projects that they're working on really deserve and need. So we thank you for doing that, being part of that type of service within the industry, and for joining us today, telling your story.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me. Thanks so much, Howard.
And thank you all for joining us as well. It's so very important to really know what you're talking about and have a good understanding of what it takes to get things accomplished. Branding is so very important, and it's a necessity for companies to really have strong branding. And to do that, you need strong branding people to help with that messaging. And of course, you obviously need people to train them in the right way. So there's a lot more information here on Daily Ad Brief, the things that Kevin is involved with and doing. So please check that out. But go out, have a great rest of today, and we'll see you next time on Marketing Champions.